I'm Jennifer Rose, and I'd like to keep it real with you by discussing what the fuck makes me able to call myself a shaman. I'm in Sedona, and there's spirituality on every corner, and this title gets thrown around a lot. So there's a lot of preconceptions related to it. What does that even mean? Does that mean you do drugs? Or does that mean that you have some ties to Native American or tribal cultures? You look like a white girl. And I am. I am a white girl and I have no ties. I mean, I think I am a 16th Cherokee, but that's not related because I'm a Peruvian shaman. Foundationally, that has been transmitted because of the teacher that I trained with. So 2012, I walk into this psychic convention, very typical, surrounded by all these healers with amazing programs, and I'm looking for something to guide me in my spiritual gifts and abilities that I spent my whole life avoiding or trying to understand. And I wanted some level of mastery over them, especially because there was some troubling experiences, including spiritual possession. So I needed the discernment and the boundaries that, this program provided. And over the next year and a half, I took every single one of her offerings. I assisted with marketing and events and classes, and I showed up as much as I possibly could in that moment in my mental, emotional, and physical expression in life. But it became very apparent that as I'm aligning and integrating these trainings, there was quite a few aspects of my life that needed to shift and change. And those were not things that were easy or that I was willing to do at the moment. So, I left the program and I moved to Arizona. And over the course of 9 years, I lost 90 pounds. I divorced and I systematically came into my own power. And then I called, the shaman up on the phone and said, okay, these are my life changes. I've been using the tools and gifts and abilities, anchoring into the lineage, spending time in nature, finding this foundational space within myself. She's like, yeah, I feel that. We agreed that title was something that I could now use. Why did I want to? What makes it appealing to use that title? Well, it's all about accountability. If I say I'm a shaman, that requires me to show up in truth, to show up in love. Because if I lie, I can't hear that guidance as well. I literally stop accessing my gifts. If I don't accept someone unconditionally, I'm not able to hear their guides. Like it literally quiets. And then I notice I'm out of frequency. I have to deepen into love in order to connect with that level of presence and hear and understand the guidance I'm being given. So for me, being a shaman means being authentic, being really anchored into the responsibility of my purpose. It wasn't easy for me to accept the fact that I was strong enough to guide other people. I had a lot of resistance to that. But at some point, you have to recognize that training after training after training is leading you into a space where maybe you get to hold space for someone else's journey. And as I found my power, which I'm still finding every day, that level of self mastery is always growing. I found that I could really understand what other people's gifts and abilities were. And accepting where they were and really feeling a lot of love and a lack of judgment for that, I was able to help them to kind of move into that next step, to find that higher pathway by knowing what are those small shifts and changes that I can make in my life to make things a little bit easier or to come to terms with some of those natural talents that I have. So that's what I do for a living. I make some small contribution to the world. It makes me feel like I'm doing my part. And I hope to continue being authentic and real and exploring these topics with you. So if you have any questions, past life regression, presence healing, what's going on with your hair, I'm happy to address that. In the coming weeks, I'd like to spend time exploring whatever you're curious about and engaging with the community in more of an interactive way. I find that understanding the things people are confused about is a really good way to open up into dialogue that allows everyone to grow. So, understanding more about shamanism, Peruvian shamanism, integrity, virtue, and honestly, a level of accountability that makes me a pain in the ass. Talk to you soon. Love you.